Now, one thing that bugs me, and you probably have noticed or haven't noticed, depending if you're watching my chat log or not, is that none of the guys tend to speak to each other much. I mean, I don't know whether it's a standard for pugs these days, but I tend to pug with guildies anyway. But it's me and the shaman who we are guildies. We tend to banter about in the chat, but that's about it. No one tends to talk to each other much other than the occasional mana break or yeah, okay, no, okay. But it's a shame really, because I play this game to be social and there's not much of that going on at the moment in instances. Fair enough, you can't do it in boss fights like this, but I mean, it wouldn't take much. Just sometimes people go, oh yeah, what do you do, or how was your day? Never mind. As you can see here, I cleverly managed to die. I got the debuff and I stepped out of the way because I was electrocuting the shaman, and then I ran around the corner and out of line of sight, so she couldn't heal me, so I kind of died there. The rest of the guys had no complaint about me dying. In fact, I criticised myself more than anything when I got up for dying third time this instance. But to be honest, I mean, this group, I'm kind of disappointed because I was hoping this first one I would have had loads of shitty people who I could have ragged on and gone, yeah, you're crap kind of thing, but I've actually been the crappiest one here. I really don't have a lot of the health to take a lot of these blows to the face. Now, whether that's because of my gear or purely because of the fact I'm being a noob and not keeping mana shield up, I don't know whether you should have mana shield up when you're taking AoE damage. Once again, the shaman res me, made a couple of comments about how crap I am at staying out of fire, which was when it was lightning, it wasn't on the ground, and it was on my face. And cue jokes about things that probably shouldn't be joked about in a pug. Actually, that's the other thing I would remind people, is that if you're in a pub with randoms, making jokes about herpes and your mum, probably not a good idea. Sometimes you can get away with that if it's a guild group. I know my guild are renowned for comments like that, and comments that would probably offend some people, so we have to kind of tone it down in pugs when we've got randoms along. But hey, what the hell. Now, one thing I will mention here is our tank was a little bit overcautious. Again, he seems to wait until the shaman's 100% mana. She pointed out it's fine. She'll keep drinking until he needs healing, unless it's sort of like an old crap pool. But to be honest, I'd rather have an overcautious tank than an undercautious one. Death Knight's pretty much being the main culprit for undercautious tanks. They just tend to run in head first and expect everybody to be able to keep up with them. But maybe it's because they're used to playing DPS and don't quite understand how tanking works. And it's not a slander against all Death Knights. I'm sure there are some lovely, well-played Death Knights who actually know how to play their class. I've just not met them yet. Now, this bit here was a bit of a wipe fest. The hunter backpedaled and body pulled. She immediately admitted she body pulled and that we were in a bit of trouble. So it wasn't so much of a problem. We knew we were probably going to go down. At the end of the day, that's what happens. Anyway, this fight ended up with us pretty much just wiping and dying and running back. But what happens next is kind of what I think is the important bit, and again, something else that makes group. The healer, the healer ran out of mana and said, sorry, ran out of mana. The hunter apologised for body pulling in the first place. We just all released and ran back. Well, in fact, I say we all released. This is probably something else that bugs me, is people who don't release. I just told the hunter, no sweat, it happens there. Because it does happen. You can't beat it. I must admit, it's less likely to happen with some of the high geared players, but it still takes one bad mistake and that's it, you're out. Again, my comment about Death Knights, I have had Death Knights and I have tried to death grip both those packs together and then died and then blamed the healer. It's not the healer's fault, you're more on it's your own. Now, as you've probably noticed at that previous pull, the healer did accidentally back into patrol, but the tank was way ahead of her and just picked it straight up. Once we got rid of those, worked our way around slowly but surely to get to the main area. Must admit, the tank was a lot more careful after that accidental pull, just in case. Sorry, not the tank, the hunter was a lot more careful. Mainly because I'd imagine you don't want to repeat something like that. Running back once or twice is fine, third time is where you get a bit fed up with it. So anyway, tank picked up the patrolling mobs quite quickly, we all moved into the centre. And once those are down, take these out. Now the tank immediately picked these up, knew the tactic, turned them around so their back was to us, we blew them up. Must admit, they tend to spaz out a little bit when you're moving them around, so it kind of turn around. But all in all, no one died, so I call that successful. And there's also me firing up the wrong spell again because I put the wrong button on my mouse. Now the tank, must admit, didn't stop for anyone's mana break this time round. he pretty much ran straight into Loken. As you can see, the Shaman is at half mana, I'm at no mana. And I also suffer horrifically at this boss, as you'll see in a minute. Anyone who knows the fight knows that you stand up close in melee, do as much damage as possible, run out for the explosion. I never seem to get this right. I either die in the explosion or I die when I'm running away. I mean, I probably could have stayed there, but I took the step out, I blinked to get away, and then I died from the dot, so failed to me. Still, the group managed to blow him down in no time, so it's not really a problem. So it's then just a case, boss down, loot's handed out. The Shaman quite thankfully gave me a res. And I guess with the boss down, it's pretty much time to give my review of the group. To be quite honest, one of the better groups I've had through the looking for group system. I'd say a 7 out of 10. And I'd say probably a definite 8 or even a 9 out of 10 for Driven, who was our tank, who performed pretty much admirably throughout. A couple of little letdowns, like charging on the last boss before anyone was ready. And probably been a little bit too patient, but I mean, I can't really fight him on patience, and the last boss, maybe he was just glad to get to the end of the dungeon, especially with me dying all the time, slowing him down. Yeah, I mean, I can't really give Gronka any kudos, because she's in the guild, so it's kind of favouritism, but everyone else in that group performed admirably, so again, no argument from me. Well, my name is Metro2K, and this has been Pugwatch, so depending on the popularity of this, I may do another one, and it may be a worse group that I can actually really let rip on, but hey, we'll find out. Thanks for joining me, good night.